More than half of the Philippine population lives in rural areas. 40% of land is attributed to the agricultural sector, employing about one-third of all Filipinos. Yet, for a long time, vast tracts of the country's best agricultural lands had been in the hands of a very few landowners, which contributed to poverty in rural areas.
Mangunguma akong nabunag sa dulong, malulong hinaplos ang hanging bukid nun. Batitis ang iloy sa tungas ang talon, walay panupliyon, kundi kaimulon.
Mamuguma akong ginhamdong sangkaling, sa pagbungkag sang duta o kang kagtudling. Gintungdan sang alam, bantud ko kaingin, balhas kong ginuyang, di ko ginkangibin.
Mangunguma akong kiniblan sang dutong, ginantos ang tanan bangod kag may handong. Ang tanan nga gutom kon hindi sa akon, apangyari ako, hamak nga ulipon.
Araw, gabi, aking minamasdan, binhing itinanim sa mumunti kong bukiran.
Before the country was colonized, Filipinos were divided into certain statuses: the chiefs or datus, or those who obtained nobility.
Malapit ko ng anim, tulungan kami, sana'y tangkilikin, tayong lahat, palay nami bilhin. Bawat butil, dugot, pawis, alay namin, ang dalangin ko nawa.
The Maharlikas or free man.
Pasan namin pagkain ng daigdig, magsasakang api, hindi nyo ba naririnig? Buhay namin di tulad sa iba, paraisong bukid ang tangi naming ginawa. Patuloy ako di magpapatinag, kapit kamay kaming magsasaka, bigyan kami ng kahit
And the alipin or the slaves. Despite these societal standings, everyone had equal access to the fruits of the soil. People practiced the barter trade, wherein they exchanged goods to other countries. For example, they trade agricultural products with luxury items of foreign traders. They also practiced the kaingin system or the slash and burn method before planting the crops. They use the concept of stewardship, where nature and man's relationship is significant. Everyone had mutually shared resources and fruits of their labor.
Angela, Kyla, stop playing! Help us in the farm!
Nabisigang siyang nagbubungkal, ikaw na pawis at dugo ang tanging puhunan. Ikaw na bihag, dukha't hinahamak.
But then, the Spaniards took over the lands, and everything changed.
Based on the royal land grants of the Spanish crown, the Philippine lands are to be rewarded to loyal civilian and
The encomienda system, however, turned into abuse of power by the encomienderos. The lands became rents to powerful landlords, and the natives, who once cultivated the lands in freedom, were transformed into mere share tenants.
give us everything from your supply.
But what will we eat, senyorita?
Starve you peasants!
Sa daluyong ng daang libong nag-aalsa, itatanghal kayong bayani, kayong magsasaka. Sa tuwin ay taglay,
That's what you get from keeping food away from us.
buo ang hangaring wakasan ng pagsasamantala. Sa
This is
daluyong
our hacienda now.
ng daang
I-
libong nag-aalsa, itatanghal kayo.
Dealers were abused, exploited, and deprived of their rights. The revolution of peasants and farmers articulated their aspirations for agrarian reform and a just society. After the establishment of Philippine independence in 1946, the problems of land tenure remained. The presidential decree number 27 of the Marcosist regime did not match its actions. The retention limit of 7 has deprived 55% of tenants in rice and corn lands the right to own lands they tilled. Thus, New People's Army, or NPA, thrived to respond to the abuses and inequality the farmers had experienced.
We can't be still. We need to take an action. If the government won't give it to the people, we'll take actions in our hands. It's time for a land reform.
It's time to give what the farmers deserve.
Former President Cory Aquino's comprehensive agrarian reform program inherent loopholes, resistance, and the continuing growth of the New People's Army, or NPA. After the People Power Revolution, farmers formed an alliance and proposed the People's Agrarian Reform Code so that Aquino will implement agrarian reform. But with no response, the Kilusang Magbubukid ng Pilipinas, or Peasant Movement of the Philippines, peacefully marched for the immediate implementation of the reform on January 22, 1987. The marchers clashed with the police, leading to the infamous Mindiola massacre, which caused the death of 13 farmers and injuries of more than 100 protesters.
Sa iya natipon, sa unang
sang mamumugon, mahilway ang banwa sa kalaabuton. Mamumuwa akong nagmuklat.
Current President Rodrigo Duterte wants to pursue an aggressive land reform program. He handed certificates of land ownership award, or CLOA, for more than 6,000 beneficiaries. But Bulatlat Mariano, a former Agrarian Reform Secretary, stated, "It has been too easy for DAR to show off CLOA distributions, but whether the farmers retain possession of the awarded lands after the ceremonies is a wholly different matter." Aside from that, there have been 311 documented killings of peasants, farm workers, and fisherfolk, related to land dispute cases and advocacy for agrarian reform. To justify these killings, the government red tags them as part of the communist terrorist community.
Mangunguma akong nabunag sa dulong.
Let the farmers still give them their legitimate and democratic rights, support rural development, that's what they've been wanting, build irrigation facilities, do away with intensive chemical farming, build sustainable farms, provide financial support to farmers and not loans that will bury them in debt. Supporting them will eventually support the whole country. 75% of this country's population are farmers. So supporting that 75% of the population who are in agriculture will feed this whole country.
Farmers till these lands. We took care of it. Whether if it rains or if the sun shines, farmers don't complain. We work hard to give food to our fellow Filipinos. Yet, why are we the ones without a place to settle and a food to eat?